choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud and clear, the people's choice. By the people, loud and clear, the people's choice. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Freedom FM is here. It's time to talk. It's time to listen. It's time for the people's choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud and clear, the people's choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud is here. It's time to talk. It's time to listen. It's time for the people's choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud and clear. It's time to listen. It's time for the people's choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud and clear, the people's choice. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Freedom FM is here. It's time to talk. It's time to listen. It's time for the people's choice. Yeah, for the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Every Tuesday, the choice of the people leading the way. For the people, by the people, by the people, by the people. Loud and clear, the people's choice. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Freedom FM is here. It's time to talk.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of The People's Choice right here on Freedom FM. The People's Labour Party has officially unveiled its theme following Saturday's People's Convention at Newtown, where 7 of the party's 8 candidates were introduced to the public under the message, right direction, ready to serve and ready to deliver. This morning, we are getting to know one of the new faces on the team. Joining us once again, we have the leader of the People's Labour Party and former Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Welcome back, Dr. Harris. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
And alongside him is businessman and newly announced PLP candidate for constituency number 3, Troy Spuddy Hendrickson. Welcome.
Good morning, Jamie, and thank you.
Come a little closer to
Good
the
morning,
mic. We
Jamie,
want to
and-
hear you.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for your welcome.
Good morning. We are happy to have you here with us this morning. So today we'll discuss a little bit behind the political platform. We want to know who is Troy Spuddy Hendrickson, what has taken him from the business world into politics, why PLP, and why constituency number 3. So we'll start with you, Dr. Harris, this morning. PLP launched its candidates at Saturday's convention at the Newtown paddock. In your opinion, how did the launch go?
From the opinions of many, it was a fantastic launch. It was something which will long be remembered. And one person who has been active in the politics said to me, for over 50 years, he has been actively engaged in the political system in St. Kitts and Nevis, and he has never seen anything like that. So we feel very, very pleased that Saturday sent a clear message that the People's Labour Party is ready. We have the right team, and we are going to take St. Kitts and Nevis to a higher plateau of living, of safety, of caring, and delivery by the government. So I want to express my gratitude first to the in-house organizing team who came together, met, and crafted what turned out to be a fantastic PLP public session of our convention. I want to thank all those who had any role to play, those who said the prayers even on the particular occasion, because I believe God's favor is shining and showering on the People's Labour Party. When you look, this year we have had at least the governing party's convention. I mean, that's like a matchbox compared to what we had at the paddock on Saturday. No disrespect. The quality of the organization, the quality of what we've been able to do, the strength of our ability to mobilize, being the youngest political party in the Federation, and what we have been able to bring forward to the people shows that we are well ahead of the game. And so for that I have to thank God and thank all the members of our executive and every citizen and resident of Goodwill that helped give us the interest, the continuing courage to continue on this path to change the direction in which the country is headed. And we want our country once again back on track. Back on track means it must be on the right direction.
Okay, Dr. Harris, now 7 of the 8 candidates were introduced on Saturday evening, and, we were looking for 8 candidates. So what happens with constituency number 6?
7 out of 8 is an outstanding majority.
Yes, but we want,
You want all 8.
Yes.
We will get all 8, I think, too. But we had screened candidates for all 8 constituency. And I'm happy to say that no constituency will be left out. We are a national party, and we have had widespread goodwill and support. Persons applied to become candidates for all 8 constituencies. We have in fact already identified the person who will be our standard bearer, if you will, for PLP number 6. That person is sufficiently known within the executive and elsewhere. The timing, though, was not opportune for the person to come forward on Saturday. But the person is still very much active in doing the work of the party, and at a later date we will present that person, that candidate for number 6, not only to the people of number 6, but to the people of the country. It will be somebody with a national profile, and it will be somebody that will excite young people and the imagination of the country that PLP has been able to attract such a broad cross-section of talent across the gender profile, across age group, across the community connection and connectedness, persons who have already been engaged nationally. So they will not be stranger, and that other person would really hit the streets rolling, and you will be happy, I do believe, as all other persons will be.
Any hints?
Well, what I said gave enough hint that they already have a national profile. They are known.
Wide.
They are they have wide reach. That is the point, and that is really, I think, a good thing for the party to be able to attract these caliber of persons to our fold. I do appreciate that each of them has a choice, and they made a choice to come with PLP. I think that is an outstanding commendation for the party and the party's leadership. And so I owe each of them a debt of gratitude. Our country, in turn, when they are elected, come to see them at work. And I promise they will deliver with the energy and vigor that we have not seen, at least not over the last 4 years. It is time for St. Kitts and Nevis to take its rightful place, be vibrant, vigorous, full of opportunities, so that our young people in particular can have hope again in this country. For too many people, they're there and, hope has been lost. Because the government, which is the largest entity in any society, in particular our Caribbean society, government basically contributes one of the largest share of the GDP, has one of the largest proportion of working people, and its payroll. So when the government falls through, the country falls through, and we want our country to rise again. For too many businesses, nothing a keep. They are closing down. One of the vendors down at the terminal said to me, I only go out in the week just to make sure nobody thief what I have there. But really there is no sale. Wow. There is no sale for the majority of the week. And when I was over on the strip, another proprietor, and she is well known, she said, for the whole day this week, I sell only one lunch. I say, one lunch? And you have 3-4 persons I could see behind there in the kitchen? He said, you hear what I told you? I sold one lunch. Things are very bad. And from the distance we may not see. But when we get into the communities, we see the men and women lingering around. We hear the cries of the parents. They didn't eat last night. And it could make you depressed. Because when you begin to paint that picture and you look at your phone and it's so many people, anything at all you can give me, I would appreciate. Nothing to eat today. And what hurts me more, many of these are women-headed households.
Wow.
And one lady told me, I do some things that I am not proud of, but I can't let my child suffer. And when our people at impressionable age are induced into indignities, not because that is their wish, but it is a way of survive, not even so much for her in this case. She has 2 children. How do you tell a child that, boy, you can't go to school because I can't even get you on the school bus? How does a child begin to understand? Those days of abject pauperization had long been banished from St. Kitts and Nevis. And in modern 21st century, St. Kitts and Nevis is back there for too many. That is my motivation for staying in, because people harken back to the halcyon days when Dr. Harris was there. Say what you will. We were an imperfect government, but we were a highly performing government. And wherever we saw there was a want, I was minded to ensure that we intervene. So when we had the crime, for example, we introduced the alternative lifestyle program. It became dubbed as the peace program. That wasn't the official name. Because the idea was, how do you take people from the wrong track, as we are now talking direction, right direction, wrong direction, into another path. And what we were doing had not succeeded. And we say we now have to think out of the box, because the peace and quiet of the land is critically important to the quality of life. And hence, out of that, the peace program was born and was being implemented. When we were hearing people say that they couldn't manage, and we begin to have considerations regarding the cost of living, We say, well, one way to keep that in check is to provide more for the people. But who can provide more at this particular moment in time? It was the government. It was the government, and we found a way because we were prudently managing our economy. And some people don't like here surplus after surplus after surplus because they can't do what we did. But that is critical because what that surplus did was to provide the buffer. So when things went south, when things went bad, as it did, when I think it was 2017, we had 2 hurricanes. And when we found out that although we had offered duty-free concessions, few people, according to P.S. Ellis, not Ellis, Edwards, Calvin Edwards, in the Ministry of Finance, were able to take them up. We said, why? He said, they don't, even with the concessions, they don't have the money for the material. What did we do? We launched for the first time in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis a housing renovation program and went into every constituency and attempted to fix all those homes that were badly affected. Over 4,000 households were improved. The impact on it was even less than me until there was this guy, I think he's Pinto Williams, he was a pastor, and he did a video with the GIS, and he said, thank God for Dr. Harris. He pointed to his bed. He said every night until it was repaired, he had to go to sleep with a bucket on his bed because when rain fall, it was right there. We changed that around. And essentially, this is the job of government. A government must do for you those things that you are unable individually to do. The government must provide proper health care. You alone can't build a hospital. Maybe Destiny Group can, but you can't. So you're relying on the government to give you proper health care, and that has long been established. Same, I can't send my child perhaps to private school, so the government must have institutions of learning that allow for that. So the people are not asking for unrealistic things. It's for the government to come in with a broad vision and a broad view of their place in society and attempting to do as many as they can. Same way with PAP. We gave people a top-up of $500. In the heat of the campaign, we heard $500 wasn't enough. They were going to triple it to $1,500. Look what happened now. They threw thousands of persons off the PAP. Many of them were relying on that to pay their electricity bill, pay their water, buy medication, and for the elderly in many of those households. Our elderly come from a generation that the poor always were proud. Nobody going forward with me, I always heard my grandmother say. And when you took away the $500 from them without even giving them time to make an adjustment, it was really a terrible thing. And I'm sure Bradshaw and Southwell and France in particular turned 1,000 times in their grave. That a Labour Party who would understand disenfranchisement, poverty, could be so wicked in its dealing with ordinary people. We want to put our country back on track in the right direction, a high-performing government with compassion. The government job is not really giving handout, it's giving a hand up. It's to restore a dignified existence to all of its people. And I heard a Pope one time say, well, basically, the poor will always be with us. I asked a father at the Catholic Church. He said there are a lot of scripture which speak to issues of mercy, of compassion, and helping the less fortunate. Of course, the poor carry a wide stream from those who are in the lowliest of places to those who, poor, yes, because it's a relative comparison, but not in stages of indignity. So we have the indigent and we have the poor. And I think that we wouldn't want a society with people who are indigent. You know, we understand that not everybody will make $1 million. I've never made $1 million myself. But you should be able to take care of yourself and present yourself well. And those ambitions to me are reasonable. And when we return to government, I'll do all in my power. Use every working moment to ensure that we put St. Kitts and Nevis at a better place. We were once the envy. People marveled. What's going on in St. Kitts down there? Every year you all paying double salary. Where you all get that money from? Alas, those things have vanished away without explanation. But good days can still come back again to our people and our country.
So, Dr. Harris, today you're not alone, as I mentioned in the beginning of the program, and we want to learn more about your team because we're quite familiar with who you are as a person and as a leader. So how did you first meet Troy Spuddy Hendrickson?
Well, Troy Spuddy Hendrickson is a well-known personality, and while I hadn't known him in a very close-up way, I always heard about him. Mm-hmm. He was a likable person. He was somebody who people respected, a young man who appeared had dealt with the vicissitudes, the ups and downs of life, and turned out as a successful, a man-made person. Well, I guess with the favor of God, he was able to put his talents to work. After his stint at TDC, he did what many other persons might not have done. He went and he established several businesses and made a positive contribution. So I know him in terms of the enterprises. I knew of him as a leader, sporting enthusiast, sporting leader, one who was contributing to the village community, and generally somebody who, even when we had the peace program, I gathered that he was one of the actors in it in terms of helping to bring messages of hope and inspiration to persons on the program so that they could understand that although you come from humble circumstances, like I did, that this world of crime and vengeance and so on would lead us to nowhere, that there is a better you inside. And he was the one through lectures and whatever talks he would have given, try to boost their spirit, boost their image, because so often our people are being pressed down by those in positions of authority, who, although they come from the same background of poverty and want, once they get up, you see that they are being oppressive. You see that reflected in the way, for example, the personnel department at government headquarters operate. No promotion for you because it's politics. You know, your pension cut short. A man from St. Paul's, of all places, Bachelor's homeland, work for Defense Force and then the prison. Send the man home, deny the man the pension. Why? Why? They're not going to combine the two stints of service with the same entity, a transfer which they approve. It is wickedness, and we have to find a way to interpret laws that give people the best humane outcome from these things. So that area of civil service reform is one that we are going to pay particular attention to, because too many people are oppressed. Too many people are left out. Too many people can't get the appointment. There are people 4 years after whose promotion was approved when I was there, and up to yet, they can't get the promotion letter. The Prime Minister take the sad view that once his Harris deal with it, he ain't going to do nothing. He ain't doing it for me. He's not doing it for me. And so he's in the wrong position. Because even if he were doing it for me, he must see the people who are going to be affected. And so we have had a lot of what I will call outlandish situation. we had a man at the fire acting for over 2 or 3 years as the head of the fire department. And when time come, government change, sent the man and leave, and then attempt to demote the gentleman back to sergeant level, a man who had been headed the institution. How could those things happen when we are supposed to be turning the page and victimization and this political hatred in the society? How could those things happen? Eventually, gentlemen said, no, I am not going to allow myself to become dehumanized. Those persons who I were leading for 2-3 years going to come and suddenly subordinate me and humiliate me, because sometimes in leadership you have to take hard decisions. And when you're now put back in that position of subordination, from head of a department to sergeant, I mean, that could do a lot to your morale. And while I would have fought it, as Petrona did in her case, she was head of the department at CPU. They transferred her to Nemo, and part of her job was to drive a forklift. They didn't even consider it. The judge condemned the outlandish, wrongful approach of the government in some 7 areas and vindicated Petrona Thomas and squashed the transfer, null, void, and of no effect. So these are the circumstances really which we know we have to correct, and we have to do it in a fast way. So I'm hoping that the elections will be called soon so that we could turn the corner sooner. Because you see, these things create a demotivational impact upon people, and you lose in productivity. The worker who is not pleased will not perform well, especially if his or her grievance is with the employer, and it is one of fairness and justice.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to shift gears a little bit and focus on Troy Spuddy Hendrickson. Now, the people were introduced to you on Saturday as the People's Labour Party candidate. But outside of politics, I get the impression that you're well known because I heard your name all over on Saturday. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Well, Jamie, before I get into that, I would just like to pay a little respect to people in constituency number 3. I'd like to give a morning shout out to Callie in Shadwell, to Lulu in the village, Ebby down in Boyd's, Greg in Palmetto Point, and of course I'd love to touch 2 of my favorite pastors, Pastor Dean and Pastor Connor. I'd love to say a wonderful good morning to the people of constituency number 3, and I would like to say to them, I am here to serve, I am your servant. I'd like to say a special good morning as well to my constituency number 3 A team, people like Marlon and the entire squad, who are super hard working. I met with them last night for the first time, and it was a wonderful people like Dwight Allers, who at the time, Rumpus as we called him, was a standout footballer. It also included people like Milo Box, who was an okay footballer, but a bigger mouth. Born in Milo, no disrespect. So I came into contact with the entire village community. I remember as a little boy, hopping engine, going all the way down through C3, down to even Old Road on the engine, passing through all of the different communities, Palmetto Point, Trinity, Boyd's, West Farm. So I know these people, I breathe these people, I can feel them as well. The Spuddy comes from me in another life, a younger life, as a basketball player. And the name,
you played football and basketball?
Well, I was never a footballer, to be honest. I was more a football lover.
Okay.
I got so involved with the football that I ended up as a member of Village Superstars football team. Later, as the public relations officer, I also served as a youth coach. I also, as a vice president and finally president of the club, for 8 years until I decided I had enough of that and passed it on to the younger people in the club who now run the club. I am still very involved with village football, to be honest. I am obsessed with it. I can't lie. Even after such a wonderful launch on Saturday, where I had to come out in my full, PLP gear and so forth, I still had to go and look for my red shirt and go down to support Village Superstars on Saturday. I don't want to disrespect Damien, my number 2 constituency number 2 candidate, but we gave him a good washout on Saturday.
Be careful,
really. Oh, you're Spurs fan too?
This is we represent constituency 2 here.
Okay, good. But still, I defeated you. But it was all love, and it was the first time being out after being officially announced as a candidate. So it was really refreshing. It took me about maybe 20 minutes to walk 100 yards, because everybody wanted to say how good they felt about it. Some were not so happy about it, but at the same time respect it. So this is who I am. I am a person who enjoys service. It comes to me naturally. As Dr. Harris started saying, when the branded peace program was in its heyday, I volunteered to be a mentor for the guys, where most days on a Friday from about, I would say, March of 2022 till about June of the same year, I met with these guys every Friday from 9 a.m. until 11, 12, where we showed them different things, how to do a business plan, how to, make yourself more appealing, more understanding. And the difficult part of that was that the way it was structured, there was no writing, because, there's different levels of education all balled into one thing. And then I would say, honestly, in about the third week, 1 to 3 weeks, it was very difficult. I was called everything under the sun. But, as we went along, they warmed up and they understood where I was coming from. And so we achieved a lot. We achieved a lot in the time that I was there. I love those guys. I still see some of them moving around, doing positive things as well. A few have gone backward, but such is life, what I mean? And I continue to work. For me, every man deserves a chance.
And a second and third and fourth chance.
As much as is needed to get it right. Every man deserves an opportunity to be listened, and every man deserves an opportunity to advance what he is thinking. And that brings me to where I am, Troy Spuddy Hendrickson, where I decided to join the People's Labour Party. Now these guys, Dr. Harris and the team, I'll be very honest, I can't use the words I'd like to use, but they are persistent. And in the beginning I was like, how this gonna work?
Why?
Well, why? Because I come from a different labor. Well, me and Dr. Harris come from the same labor. We come from the same labor, to be very honest. And I was like, how this gonna work? Because I gotta take it home to the nest, and I have to explain to the nest that, But over time, in doing it, I made a trip to speak to my mother. I had a good conversation with her. She was like, we ain't discussing this. And, but over time, as we went along, she understands and has pledged to give her full support. And so have most of the family members, Now, to be very honest, I am this son, one son my mother has, which is me, but I am part of a set of children that are 17. Okay. My dad has 17 children. So, mixed opinions, but I would think that with time they would come around, because they understand my commitment to service. They understand my commitment to working overtime and working hard to get it done. It's not a boast, but I must say that I am obsessed with anything I do. that may be unfortunate, but it is who I am. Once I'm committed to it, I'm going to give it my best, and only my best I will give it. On Sunday morning, I woke up after going to sleep extremely late, answered all the messages, which were almost 1,000, every single one. And then I called Amos, who is in my constituency executive, and I said, Amos, we're going on the road, you know. He said, what? He said, what time? I said, 11. I showed up at 11, and me and him, we went down to Trinity Heights, and we knocked on a couple of doors. We came up, we had some lunch by DJ Terrell's mother. She had a thing on the road there. Sat with her. We do a little go around in Boyd's. We came up in the village by the ATM machine and spoke to a couple of the guys there. And then we went up to Lagreet and touched some people up there as well. And it was, well, us were well received. I could tell you this much. People said, I wasn't voting again, but you've now inspired me to want to think about exercising my franchise. I reminded them that we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, we've not been voting for a long time, so we must not take the opportunity to exercise our franchise for granted. You must vote. You must exercise your franchise, because if you don't vote, you can't come to complain after. You know what I mean? So a lot of that came into it. I saw one guy got so emotional, started crying, saying, man, you know, we needed you to come on board. And the mere fact, to be honest, that I was kept a secret for as long as it could be kept is amazing.
It wasn't a very well-kept secret towards the end.
Well, towards the end.
Yes,
towards the end.
Towards the end, but
it was.
you know, it.
But that speaks to your popularity as well, because people were talking about it.
People were talking. People were asking. People became interested. The People's Labour Party launch on, convention on Saturday. Some say broke the internet. I don't know, and we are still waiting to see.
The numbers were huge. There were many people looking online, because I was watching online as well.
Okay, well, you know, we were live, so we couldn't see, and I guess we will look at that as we go along. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
But, you know, I've got to ask you, and
Sure.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you are a successful businessman. Why now? Why enter the political arena at this point in time?
St. Kitts and Nevis, we don't have a copy of it. We have one. And I had to get into the race to make a difference. I have spoken a lot to the powers that be, ignored. No interest, yeah, that's a good idea. And I'm not saying that all of what I suggested should become the reality of what we do. But they don't listen. They don't listen. It became too hard. And I saw us making a nosedive. It is, and I won't bash, but I feel that the country called St. Kitts and Nevis is like walking into the cockpit of a 747. And I think where we are now, those who lead thought it was an islander with manual movement, and it has overwhelmed them. It has overwhelmed them, where a lot of the things that should be easy to do are hard to do, take too long.
Yep.
Do you know how disruptive? I'm a small business owner, and usually I have to make trips, but it is very disruptive to leave my desk and have to travel.
Yeah.
Yes, you enjoy it. It's not our work. You have to enjoy a little bit. But when you have to leave, we leave so often. We just go. It's as if they are moving so far away from the management and governing of the country that, to me, we are on autopilot. And that is scary. That is scary.
Why the People's Labour Party?
If I may be candid and very, very honest, when I was approached, the answer was a straight no. We spoke about it some more. We spoke about it some more. I discussed it with a couple of people around me, and they say, well, you want to help? I said, sure, I want to help. He said, well, put yourself in a leadership position and help. So I started studying a little bit of the history of the People's Labour Party. And Dr. Harris here could tell you that I asked him some hard questions. Some hard questions. And we found common ground, to be honest. All is not what it should be. There's no perfect situation. I would have my concerns. They would have their concerns with me. But we decided to work like a jigsaw puzzle where the pieces are all different. But if you keep putting them together, the pieces come to be the whole. And you know, if you make something usually of different pieces, it usually makes it to be so much stronger. And I think we are on the right path, the right direction to make our St. Kitts and Nevis a stronger, better country. That is why the People's Labour Party for me.
Dr. Harris, what did you see in Troy that made you want him on the People's Labour Party team?
I see in him a patriot. To me, that is important. That has to be a defining element. That you should be somebody who have a deep, enduring love for the country, and people can feel that. And even listening to him now, saying some of the things he would have said in meetings, you get that feel. Mm-hmm. This was a man who loved his country and wanted the best for his country, had ideas that could have helped contribute. No one would listen, either too busy, too arrogant, or they consider you insignificant. That is well known out there as how they deal with people in a convenient way. But to me here you had somebody who was courageous, was compassionate, loved his country, had proven himself in diverse areas, ability to showcase our country, whether it is going and tourism marketing, whether it is when guests come here, come to St. Kitts, taking them on tours, or just servicing our people. And as I said, I also was inspired by the contribution he made to the peace program. Out of that, you could feel the caring and the love. And I thought that that element, that quality of leadership that is compassionate and caring, was very missing now in the government that we have. And you wanted somebody who was authentic in terms of those value system. I said that and a lot more. I saw a man who had many talents, and could fit into a cabinet, adding value to it, because it's not just winning the seat, although from all the reports I've had, that he could win it hands down. Of course, we take nothing for granted, and I was so impressed when I called him, I think was the day after, to say how things, he told me he had gone out, and I said, this is how it should be. This is how. But that only comes if you genuinely believe in what you're doing. You want to help people. The people in St. Kitts and Nevis, they have not felt love from this government. There is always a condescension. You all always want. Who want more than them? They have no time because for them it's the joyride. It's clocking up the miles. It's the per diem of $1,000 or what figure it is per day that attracts them into the service, not taking care of the people. And so I think that that element, that quality, a people's person were going to be crucial to victory of the seat, but also to keep the government unbalanced. A government has to be anchored. You can't undiversified, and the diversity of our team basically prevents both a challenge and an opportunity, because you don't want a think tank. And my approach to leadership is one of consultation. And so I believe that really he will. I knew all the politicians, St. John Payne, Bryant, and those were the people who normally come to the meeting. So I had that pull. At deeper too, as you become involved, you see, boy, you can make a difference. And people were counting upon me to improve the quality of life for them. And for over 30 years now, I've been doing this. There have been difficult times, but I'm still standing, because you get a great sense of value and worth when you know you have made the differences. You have seen the people, and this is one thing the politics allows, is for persons who really want to help people, to provide them the resource, the position from which they can execute programs. For the young people of the village who are citizens in terms of their achievements, because they had a brother who stood by them. To me, that's critical.
I want to speak a little bit about what you're hearing on the ground, because you mentioned that you are already on the ground speaking to the people whose vote you're seeking. What are the major issues they're sharing with you?
Jimmy, is a lot so far. From going into the Trinity Heights area, the first challenge I encountered was there were 3 of us going. When we turned off the main road and got up the hill firstly we couldn't go up there. So we got out of the vehicle and we walked. The road is in deplorable shape. It's horrible. We walked up, we knocked on a couple of the doors, spoke to some of the residents. So those residents in Trinity Heights, they definitely need a road. They need the road either to be turned to asphalt or concrete immediately, or for the road to be graded constantly. The sluices, which allow for the excess runoff to go to the side, the sluices need to be cleared. They're filled, so they're basically doing more damage to the road. The people that we spoke to in Boyd's, in the back of Boyd's, in the area around Fairview Inn, again, it's the road. There's no road. It's horrible behind there. And now the rainy season is about to begin. It's going to get worse. It's going to get dangerous for them. People will lose their houses because the rain, because we've had such a long drought. Nobody's fault for the drought, but no vegetation and no road, everything's going to wash all the way down. In the village area, this is sad to say, but the village area has some of the most latrines on the island.
Still?
People in St. Kitts still have latrines, so those areas need to be touched. A pet peeve for me is the Springfield Cemetery. I buried my grandmother there on the 17th of June, so I spent some time there, and every now and again I'll go back and visit her. It is a place of disrespect, overgrown, and there are people working there, but it's not supervised properly. So the cemetery needs to be brought back to a place of respect. It's just nothing. I ain't gonna kill anybody for the Cardin home, but if you are happy about the Cardin home, I would say give the man in number 3 currently your vote. If you're happy with the Cardin home, give in your vote. I will go that far. The Cardin home is not good at all. It is horrible. This is no joke, and these are places of respect. The Cardin home should be kept proper. You understand what I'm saying? So the areas are not without their challenges. You know what I mean? If you, even over at the Patsy Allers playfield and down at the Limekeel playfield, areas that are under the People's Labour Party that were kept clean are just not clean anymore, just overgrown, horrible, untidy, stuff like that. Neglect. It's like nobody cares anymore. The win is so sure, for the incumbent that he just leave it as it is. These are simple things. They're not things that cost a lot of money to do, but you can surely empower the people in the community to take care of their own community. I mean, with us, give us a chance. This is what I'm asking. Give us a chance. And I assure you, it's
So
going to
you're
be very
asking,
different.
you're asking the people for a chance.
Yes.
If the people of Constituency 3 choose you, what's one of the first things you want to tackle?
Well, to be honest, I intend to run an open door campaign where I am available 24/7. I want to say to the people, you know Spuddy. Spuddy knows you. I'm not new to you. Some of you, you will have to obviously get to know me a little bit more. But give us a chance. We are going to revitalize the entire constituency of number 3. My aim, my idea is to see at least 2 constituency offices, one in the village, which is centralized, and one in, I would say, Boyd's, where they can reach us. We are going to man it a number of good working hours per day. We also want to realize and recognize that the people of Shadwell are a part of the number 3 constituency, as well as the people of Palmetto Point. They, in interacting with them already, they feel to be left out. We also can say that we want to revitalize the basketball court in Boyd's. If you go down in Boyd's, that thing is like a parking lot and a garage, and you can't play any basketball there. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? We want to see more community integrated programs, social programs that help the children to go, help those in the middle to become adults, so that we have a continuity. You know what I mean?
For the people who don't know you yet, what do you want them to know about Troy?
I want them to know that Troy Spuddy Hendrickson, is a community-minded person. I am a real person. I am not superficial. I am one of you. I grew up with your neighbor and your daughter and your son. I am a son. I am a product of the environment. I stay tuned to it. I am not coming to the village for politics. I'm already there. I'm there almost daily. It is something I do. I spend a lot of time at the Patziala's playfield. I move around. I go to Raspberry, I buy me fish. I buy me veggie pizza. I'm all over. I'm in Best Buy every morning between 6 and 7. You can see me there. It's what I do. I am a community-minded individual. I have a lot of ideas, but I do not have a monopoly on ideas. I am open to listen to you, and I want you to give me your support, and you can question me as much as you can. As much as you desire, I am here to serve.
Dr. Harris, we are practically out of time, but why is Troy the right man for number 3, and how does he represent the right direction?
I think he has given that in a lot of what he said. He come as a son of the soil, somebody who is familiar with the people, their circumstances, someone who has seen the lacks in the community, the neglect, if you will, and who is committed to make a difference. I think seeing him, working with him, helping him, developing the programs for the community, that is going to ensure the lives of persons are made so much better. So I want to endorse him again, to ask the people from all of St. Christopher 3 to give him your vote, and you will not regret it. I like the fact that, like me, he's a hard worker. Some people say I don't sleep because ideas flow, and as they flow, you want to take the opportunity to register them more completely. And I think this love, this passion for being of service is really going to be the deciding factor. He's down to earth, he's humble, he understands what is needed to be done, and he's committed to the people. I think we can't ask for more. And what we need now, you have seen him at work, you have heard of his contribution to sports, to the those at risk. His interest in the community has been enduring. So you can trust him. And what I would say is that in a cabinet of which I would be a part, he would have the fullest unconditional support to pursue the programs that are needed for the people. I myself have been working that constituency. So when he spoke about the basketball court in Boyd's, I understand that I've been in the day after day sometimes as we were doing canvassing before now in that particular area, and to see that, you know, what it represents is that ordinary people are locked out of the support and resources that should be there to build stronger communities. So I'm very happy that he himself has noticed it, and we know what needs to be done. And you want a rep with a heart of compassion, not one who figure he's too big. And you must always answer to the beck and call. I mean, the human spirit doesn't live in a lot of the government ministers. That is the view you get from the people. I think this is an authentic person. I go back to what I said in the beginning. He's a patriot. Allow him to serve at the higher level so that he can do more for all of us. Of course, when you become an MP and a government minister, you're in service not just to your constituency, but to the entire country. And so that same level of comfort that his constituents would have, I believe from all I've heard, people everywhere who will be able to connect with him. In that government over there, you hardly find people you could speak to. Everybody's an expert. So before you say anything, hush, we're working on it, but nothing ever gets delivered. And so I feel very confident about his probability of winning. I think that he will win very big, very, very big in number 3. Number 3 is a must win, and we definitely will win it for the people. Because when you talk about the neglect and you go into communities, too many communities are run down. And nobody seems to care. It's as if this is your station in life. And simple things, whether it is here or it's in McKnight, nobody does them unless the opposition People's Labour Party shame them into doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the things, suddenly somebody sends somebody to play a mind game on the people where it's not coming from a genuine place. So again, it's somebody that I commend fully, somebody that I look forward to working with, not just within the party, but within government, to ensure that we can do more. We can show more love and caring for the people who we genuinely love, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and to take it to a higher place.
Troy, any final words for the people of Constituency 3?
I think, well, first let me go a little wider. I would just like to say a very, very special good afternoon to all the taxi drivers out there. I want them to know that I am on their side. I understand their challenges. I am a part of them. They understand me. I've done workshops with them over and over again. I've sat with them in my business. We've come up to different decisions and ways to better the entire product. I want to say to them, give every People's Labour Party candidate in your respective constituencies an opportunity to serve you so that collectively we can form the next government for St. Kitts and Nevis. I am in 3, you might be in 1, all the way around to number 8. You give that People's Labour Party candidate an opportunity to serve you. I would like to say a special good afternoon to my mother, Patricia Hendrickson. Mommy, I want to thank you for everything. I want to say to you, we will do well. Don't worry too much, we will do well. To the people of constituency number 3, tomorrow we are having a community walkthrough. We are asking you to come out in your orange and your white. We start at 5 o'clock from the ATM right there by West Side, opposite the Westside gas station by the hospital. We're going to walk right through the entire village community. And to those people in the outer places, Palmetto Point, Trinity, Lagreed, and Shadwell, you will not be left out. We're coming to you soon after. But we are coming to hear from you. We want to hear what you like, what you dislike, and so forth, and how we can make it better. Rest assured that no voice would be unheard. We want to listen to everybody. We want everybody to understand that we are here to serve. There is no bad ideas. There's nothing we're going to be laughing at. We are taking notes. Note as well to all the constituents, you would realize that when we come to you and you're not at home, we're going to leave some...
It's time to talk. It's time to listen. It's time for the people's choice. Yeah, for the people. By the people. By the people. By the people. Every Tuesday. The choice